So hello everyone and a warm welcome to this panel from bus to burnout. My name is Matilda and I'm your moderator today, and today I have some amazing artists with me on this panel. And today this panel is really about how to navigate yourself as an artist in a music industry that is rapidly changing. Your career is rapidly changing. How do you maintain your mental health? How do you stay grounded with yourself in this industry and avoid burnout? So this topic is very close to my heart, so I'm very excited to lead this panel. And I am very, very excited to introduce your speakers today. So we have Grace Dahl, BROOS, KUKO, and Diffrent. A big round of applause, please. Welcome, guys. And I'm super excited, and I bet everybody is super excited as well to hear your stories and your journeys and also your advice on these topics. So I would like to start with a little introduction round for you to tell a little bit about who you are and what is your journey in this industry, and then let's jump into some questions on this important topic. So maybe you want to start, Grace?
Sure, I'll kick it off. First of all, hello, and thank you for coming, everyone. I'm Grace Dahl, as she said, and I'm a DJ and producer based in Amsterdam with Finnish and Hungarian roots. I was born in Budapest, and that's also the city where my parents were organizing events in the 90s, before organizing events in Marbella later on. And that, I would say, is also the biggest reason why I became a DJ eventually, about 10 years ago when I was 17. And my father was also DJing at his own events, so I think that it's safe to say that he was my biggest inspirator in becoming a DJ myself. And when I was 17, I went to DJ School Amsterdam, to a DJ and production course, and from there it basically just kicked off, and 10 years later, we're sitting here today. That's me. Thanks.
Cool. Okay, then it's me. Hi guys, I'm Amber. I'm 22 years old and I'm a DJ and radio host from Belgium. I started DJing as well because of my dad. He has always been a DJ. When I was around 12 or 13 years old, he started out with a DJ school. It was like very small, just giving like these DJ workshops for children and stuff. So I got really interested in it, and he taught me everything. And then yeah, afterwards, like I started doing a lot of DJ contests. And when I was 16 years old, I started as a resident DJ in a concert venue in Brussels, and I also became a resident DJ at a radio station that I now work at. And then 2 years later, when I was 18, I got my own radio show, and then COVID hit, and right afterwards, I got noticed by Tomorrowland for their new agency and management, and that's when everything became very fast, very hard going. So yeah, that's my journey a little bit, yeah.
Applause is important. Hello everybody, my name is David, aka KUKO. I'm 25, and yeah, I started like DJing around 11 years ago as a birthday DJ, just like doing some random chart music on my friends' birthdays, because I watched Tomorrowland live streams and I wanted to be a DJ. And yeah, then I had like several years of me like searching for my direction through EDM, dubstep, trap, house. Until I went to techno, and then COVID hit it, and yeah, I just prepared and did my first tracks like during the first lockdowns, and then my current manager and agency head Benama came up to me, and he was like, "Let's work together." And now I'm happily part of Adrenaline. Shortly became resident of Unreal, and yeah, things are going good, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Marvin, aka Diffrent. I'm from Germany. I'm 26 years old. I've been making music and DJing for about 10 years now. And yeah, last year it all of a sudden started out for me. Like I had my breakthrough with one of my tracks, and yeah, now here I am. There's not much to say as an introduction, but that's me.
Thank you very much. So it's also interesting, I think, that you all have some like different journeys, how long you've been doing it and how it's turned out for you, which of course makes this panel also very interesting to hear it from different perspectives. So I would say as a first question, like how would you say that the balance of doing what you love, like being creative and following your passion and balancing that at the same time with like this fast industry and the pressure of delivering and all the pressure from outside? Who would like to start?
I can kick it off. I think for me, as we also discussed a few days ago, that I'm currently kind of like in a gray space where I've achieved many of the first goals that I set out for myself. You know, a few that I can mention is like Berghain, becoming a Vault Sessions resident, Awakenings, Boiler Room, like, and when you tick them off and you suddenly look at the list and you're like, oh, I've achieved all of that, it's very, very rewarding and also a bit strange. So I've been in that gray space where I've actually taken a step back from applying pressure constantly to myself. Especially in this day and age with, you know, social media and seeing everything all the time being bombarded in your face, it's difficult to do so, but it was healthiest for me to take a step back and just really enjoy everything that I've achieved so far and just enjoy the fact that I'm able to travel the world and share music with people on all kinds of different continents. So actually the goal for this coming period is to enjoy and try to be a bit more in the present moment and not constantly set new goals. But of course there will be a time, and of course I'm already mentally busy with setting new objectives for myself. But this past year has been more objectives, like personal objectives, mental health and physical health, and really diving inwards instead of constantly being busy with the external goals, if that makes sense. And slowly I'm finding more mental capacity, more mental room to start actually thinking about career goals again. So that's where I'm at the moment.
Nice. I think that's such a healthy way to look at it, because I think we often forget what we like, why we really started out as a DJ, you know, and why we actually love doing this. And by this way, you can really enjoy what you're doing and to reflect on it and really like be happy with it. Like, congrats. You should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you.
You did some incredible, cool stuff, and I think that's so nice. And I really try to keep that in mind as well. It's so important to really be grateful and happy with the things you already achieved, because if you keep on like being looking to the future and like wanting more and more, it's actually less healthy. But like it's easy for me to say, because for me, like, the thing I love to do the most in the world is playing and be like in front of an audience, and like just DJing in general is like the thing I love to do most in the world. So the thing is, like, I've never expected to ever be able to do what I'm doing today, you know? Like, I always just wanted to be a DJ and to be playing music, and the fact that now I'm, like, able to do this as my job and to, like, really, like, enjoy this is incredible. But now that I'm at this point, now I also want to, like, go full on in on it, you know? I really want... Maybe it's a bit too ambitious or something, like you really want to play more and more and do more things, and maybe it's like being young and you want more and more and go further and further. But sometimes, like Grace says, it's so important to just stand still and look at what you achieved already, because if you like keep focusing on being extremely ambitious and wanting more and more, you often forget that like probably 5 years ago you would go crazy to be able to play at the places you play today. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, on that point, wanting to play more and more, that was, I think, was when I realized that my track A Little Closer is getting bigger and bigger, and like so many people like messaged me, and like I had so many major labels who messaged me, and I was like, okay, what is going on right now? And then I was okay, now I can play all the shows, and I was so impatient. Like honestly, big ups to my manager that he had to deal with that. But yeah, now I'm playing that many shows, and yeah, back to the question. Is for me is like this balance. Is like 80-20, like 80% is taken up, 80% of my energy is taken up by basically the work, the DJing, the productions and everything, and then these 20% I always try to keep for myself to like relax as much as possible, spend time with my wife, yeah, do work at home as much as possible, and just try to relax as much as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like the thing is we're like all self-employed, and as you said, like we're super ambitious and stuff, and you have to be ambitious to get somewhere. But I think it's super hard to realize that you also need to take time off to be as more productive in the times you're working. So if you're working all the time, you can't be as productive as if you like take breaks like once in a while. So
which is hard.
Which is super hard. Which I try to do like just once in a while, like push myself to go out with friends and stuff. But you also said or mentioned your manager. I think it's also like super good to have like a good, very good surrounding and a healthy surrounding. And I'm glad that I had it from the very first moment, because they always told me like go to sports, like take your time off. Maybe do you really want to play this show? Like it's your 4th show on the weekend and stuff, and I'm like, fuck yes. But
after the weekend, you regret it.
Yeah. It's actually this week. But yeah, so I think it's got like many components, and sometimes you just have to push yourself to not work, because it's like the work is like relevant.
Yeah, it's like so difficult to take time off. Like I also like say yes to everything because I want to play everything. But the funny thing is we talked a while ago, but I became so sick like a couple of weeks ago, and I just stayed sick. Like physically I was like not feeling well, and like I went to the doctor, and she was like, yeah, you just need to take some time off. You're not like letting your body recover. So it's so important to just like sometimes go and do nothing.
Yeah, I think it's also the fact that it doesn't feel like work. Yeah. So it's like, especially when you like DJing or making music, you're making a new song, and then you're so excited, and then after that you realize how exhausted you are, and then you're like, okay, now I need to take a break, but I need to finish this track, I need to play here, I need to have the whole weekend full. So I think like, especially in the beginning, especially for us when we get thrown into this world, where then all of a sudden you get told, okay, you play Boiler Room now, you play Tomorrowland, you play these massive shows, and you need to prepare for that, and then you're so excited about that, and then you have new ideas. It's always like so hard to take a break, but I think that's luxury problems in the end. It's not that deep in the end.
And Grace, you were talking a little bit about like kind of setting personal goals and objectives for yourself. So I would also like to ask the whole group, whoever wants to, reply to this, like how do you navigate yourself in like setting these kind of goals, objectives for yourself, to stay true to yourself, to your identity, to your brand, and staying authentic in this whole, let's say, sometimes mess of an industry and the pressure that it can come with?
I think I think I can speak really well for that when it comes to this whole UK garage wave, which came with like I'd say my song Notion had this big song, and there was like all of a sudden there were like all of these remixes and songs in this style, and then when I play, I realize like people expect me to play only this kind of music. And then I feel like, not that people actually say that to me, but like you feel like the bit of pressure to be pushed in that corner that you have to play this stuff basically for your whole life, and then which is not true, obviously. So I think my goal at the moment is like to just make some music which is not normal for my name, I'd say. I mean, I'm lucky I have the name Diffrent, so I can do whatever I want. No, but like it's true. No, but I'm just experimenting with some new music, with some new styles, and just see where it takes me. So
a little different.
Yeah. Never heard that before.
Yeah, I think personally I'm quite privileged in that regard, because I didn't like pop off instantly, if that makes sense. Obviously that never happens overnight. You're working tirelessly for years and years before it happens, but for me, it's just been a very like steady, and I guess you could consider slow growth. But for me, I think that was eventually a privilege, because I've never felt like I had to do one thing. And yeah, I'm a total pro, you know, to, how do I say, like I'm a very big supporter of people experimenting, staying curious, making different kind of genres like, you know, you're planning on doing. And that's exactly also why I started my label Serial Disc Touchers, which is a genre-free label. Because I always just thought like, yeah, why would you have to make different like aliases to do different genres? You know, why not just have it all under one umbrella? And I feel like from my supporters, it's very understood that I can do anything. You know, like one day I'm gonna release a house track, the other time it might be drum and bass, or I do a drum and bass set or a house set. Obviously, proper techno is like the basis, but I'm open to anything, you know? And I think that my supporters are very understanding of that and have never tried to push me into one corner. I think maybe only I pushed myself into that corner a bit because I started playing house and then went like kind of shrunsy in, when was this, like 2017 or something? And maybe then I was applying that pressure to myself, but then when the pandemic hit and there was no events, that's when it kind of stopped, because there was no events to play, and then I could really dig deep into what I like. But yeah, I think diversity has always been one of my selling points, I guess. So I'm pretty privileged in that way, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to ask as well about having the sustainable long-term success, because I think also in today's music industry it's a lot about getting viral and like getting super big super fast. But how do you guys see this? Because I guess it's also a more healthy thing to have a sustainable and long-term success for yourself. And how do you navigate yourself there?
Well, I've seen a lot of artists in the last couple of months and like in the last year who blew up and now are playing like on some like some shows where I'm playing as well, which I think is fair enough. They made music for years, and then like it doesn't, as you said, it's not overnight. Like you don't just make one track and then it's all of a sudden you're the big DJ. Is always a process. I think with social media, it's the fact that you don't see the story behind it. You only see that one video, they get viral, and then, yeah, that's like the misunderstanding, in my opinion. So I think it's always like the best to work towards, or like away from this expectation that you make one track and then you get big. Yeah, I mean, I think the best examples are, for example, Molgrab. He has no social media. I mean, he has his Instagram account, but he has nothing on it. Like, all I can see on his stories is when he's at basketball games. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that is like one of the goals to go for when it's like you have that status. You just, I don't know, post like your tour, then you play there, and then everything else works. But I mean, that's an ideal world, which obviously in this world now is really hard to achieve. But yeah, goals are there.
Yeah, I can agree. I think it's also about like what you mentioned is like sustainability, just like the person behind it. If it's really like a musician, if it's an artist who like really wants it, you are able to be there like in a healthy way for years after years. Like look at Skrillex, who didn't release like an album for 10 years and comes back and everybody's like, what the fuck, this is so crazy good. Because he was just always true to himself, and I think the people really get that. It's the same as you just said, like about like the umbrella thing. Like you are the umbrella. You can do whatever you want to do as long as it's your character. If it's your like handwriting, and it doesn't matter like which kind of track you release. And I think that's how it works. Like I mean, I'm not here for like years over years, but I think that's how it could work for me.
Yeah, but I just want to like be a little bit the devil's advocate maybe, because I always also want to say like stay true to what you want to make and what you want to do, because that's so, so important. And just what you bring and what you play and what you want to like throw into the world is so important. If you're happy with it, you will feel fulfilled. But I also know that it's for a lot of artists just very hard to get there. I know so many great artists, great producers that just don't always get the chances or like the to play like the gigs they want to play or do what they want to do. And I think in that way it's very difficult to stay true to yourself, if you know what I mean, because like they work so hard for it and they actually don't get rewarded for it. So at the end I think they get like a bit frustrated with it, which I completely understand. But if you shouldn't like be saying, okay, I want to play this and this and this and like make these huge goals for yourself. You actually need to be enjoying what you're making at the moment and doing at the moment, and then everything goes how it's supposed to go. That's like my biggest tip that I want to give to you, because like when I started playing, I never was like, oh, I want to play main stage Tomorrowland, or I want to be like this big, huge DJ. Because no, I just wanted to play because I love being a DJ and I love playing before a crowd. And then everything that came on top of it was for me like crazy. I was just very grateful, like the things I could do. And I think with that mindset, you will be way happier with things that you're doing and achieving than like the other way around. Like, not enjoying what you're making, you know what I'm saying, and not getting the things you're set to do. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
I think it makes sense, yeah. I think but you also have to accept that, like, you can do what you love, and you can, maybe it takes years and years, but you also have to accept that there are certain ways how it works faster. But I just think you have to find your own way to use it. Like, you don't have to do TikTok dances to become famous, but maybe you got another like type of video that fits more to you. So I think it's always good to have a certain, like, it's the same as you're DJing, like you got like your set in mind, but if you see like the crowd is not reacting at all, you have to adapt a little bit. And I think it's the same in that.
That's nice.
Kind of.
That's nice.
I think that's a very good example to tie it together, for sure. Yeah. To adjust, like if the crowd isn't dancing, you're also going to adjust a bit. And if you're not pulling any attention on socials, which we do need these days, you know, you can adapt to that a bit. And I think shying away from it completely is not very easy for many people to achieve anything that way these days anymore. But there's definitely a way of kind of fine-tuning it. Example, the way I do social media is very comfortable for me. I don't feel pressured. I don't feel like... it's very comfortable, and I actually enjoy making the content I make. And I think as long as you do it that way, you won't burn out too quickly.
Yeah, no, actually, I think, as you just said, I think social media at a certain stage is like, you can use it as like a stage test in that way. What you would normally do on stage to see what the song you made, if it applies to the people, if they enjoy it. I think that is like possible on social media as well. If that makes sense, yeah.
For sure, yeah.
Which brings me over to my final question to you guys, and I don't even think it's a question. I will just throw it at you. Social media. Please tell us how is your relationship with this? How do you navigate yourself in this? Please let us know.
Well, I think I just touched on it slightly there at the end of my last answer, that at the moment it's very comfortable. I've always quite enjoyed making content, but there was a moment where, and that was exactly why I took a step back of pressurizing myself to achieve and achieve and achieve, because it made me do things that I wasn't enjoying, which, for example, I decided to work with the social media team for a few months. No, not for me at all. I'm sure it can be very helpful for some people, but for me it was just super stressful. And it made me really dislike posting. So then I took a step back quite quickly from that, and now again I'm enjoying it. And I don't set like rigid amounts per week that I need to post or anything, but I have like an outline in a month, like what kind of things I'd like to share, you know, more personal posts, maybe like lifestyle throwback of the month or whatever. So with my manager, we kind of just very loosely place them, and then we see what works. But it's an enjoyment because those are pieces of content that are natural and personal to me, and that way I can keep it fun. Yeah.
That's nice. Personally, I have a very complicated relationship with social media. I hate it. No, it's fine. Now the last few years it's been fine, but in the beginning I really hated to post anything. I also just wasn't like thinking about it at all, and I was like posting just when I was feeling like it, but it was like not enough to actually gain like something out of it. And now the past few months actually even, I really got like my own rhythm into it, and I actually also made like a complete social media planning, because I'm a bit of a structure person. I really love to like write everything down, or else I will forget it. But it's crazy how my life has changed in the way like I think constantly about, okay, I need to take a picture of this, or I need to post this, or oh, it's been a couple of days, should I post this? And it's really like a way of living almost. And like a couple of years ago, I never thought about like content or pictures. I was just like really like enjoying the moment, and now I found a way to actually combine it, and now I really actually don't. You actually shouldn't give a fuck what you post. That's like the most important thing. Like if you have some cute pictures, just post them online. Like if you go to a restaurant, take some pictures of your food. It's really like, sometimes it's a bit ridiculous almost, but it's a nice way to share what you're doing in your personal life with the people like around you, with your fans or stuff. And I really like saw that people like enjoyed it, and I'm texting them, and that's really nice. It's really nice to have a connection with the people on your social media, but it's definitely like it really changed a lot in the music scene. Like, okay, I'm like a child of social media, but like I think it's just shaped the way how like people even like book you, that promoters notice you, agents notice you to actually play at the gigs you want to play. Which I also understand, because like the day of today, like festivals and clubs have it quite hard, so they're gonna book people that they know will sell a lot of tickets, which is most of the time the people who have a lot of following on social media, who can make a lot of advertisements. So I completely get that, but it's like, it's a part-time job. It's you actually put a lot of time in it to actually make it work. But I'm happy now that like how I'm doing it now is very, very healthy, and I'm also not trying to, because I've also searched for like a social media team for a very long time, but I wasn't feeling
overrated.
it at all. Yeah, I was like, I can do this myself better. I'm actually a student communication science, so I was like, okay, I can do my social media, goddamn. But yeah, it's like at the end of the day, the people, you just want to connect with the people on your social media, and it actually doesn't really matter like what you post. You just want a connection and let them know what you're doing and stuff, and that's nice.
Yeah, I'm happy that you said you found your way, because I think that's what it's all about. Like, it's crazy that we have to accept that like social media takes so much time, and I think there's no like right or wrong. Like, we got the mug rap example, who's not posting anything. You're now confident with your stuff, I'm confident with my stuff, you are now. And I think like the most important thing is just that it fits to the character. If the character is like this kind of influencer, DJ type of person, then it's super fine, but then you have to post like from now on every day, kind of. If you're like the Mogra person, you can just like post once in a while, and it also works as long as it fits to your character. So I think there's no wrong or right. Of course there are some things you can do, but there's no guarantee that it works. But yeah, I think that's the most important thing, that you just do what you think is right, post whatever you want to, show also a little bit of the personal side, because I think that's like the pretty cool thing, that of course you have to do it. It takes a lot of time. Sometimes it is annoying, but you can also really connect to the people. You can really tell, like, okay, which of like my next tunes is like the most wanted, maybe, like what's the feeling about this and that gig, if I'm experimenting with another genre, how do they like it and stuff. So you can like really tell like the vibe of your audience, like from social media, so you can adapt like, okay, what's working, what's not. And yeah, as long as it fits your character, you can do whatever you want.
I mean, again, that was also a thing I got thrown into really quickly, because all of a sudden I got told, okay, we've got the release, you need to post this video, you need to post that, you need to do this. And then with gigs, obviously you want to promote them, and then, yeah, it's like, well, I now get used to, like, when I mean, I have like also a rough schedule where I post, for example, weekly. I do my story where I play the weekend, and then my monthly post with the show dates where I play the month. But apart from that, it's just yeah, posting videos from the shows basically, but nothing like too. Nothing, because sometimes you see this people do like vlogs and stuff, which I also try to do, which is way harder than I thought. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you get used to it, but it takes time, and you have to like, I had to get like into it and think about, okay, when's the best time to post? I think we all know that topic. Yeah, so yeah, that's the kind of stuff I have to get used to, and or like got used to, and now I'm there. Hopefully.
So, excuse me. Guys, I would like to thank you so much for sharing all of this with all of us. It's been so inspiring, and yeah, please everyone give a big round of applause for these amazing artists and speakers. And don't worry, you will be able to also ask some questions for them in a second. And for the Q&A, I will give over to my colleague Darren. And I think as a conclusion, we can say that navigating yourself as a person in the music industry is about really taking the time for yourself, trying to stay true to yourself, and really doing what is important to you, and trying to not let that all the other noise affect you too much, even though maybe sometimes it might sound harder to say than to actually do it. So thank you so much. And now time for a Q&A.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Darren and I will be doing the Q&A today. Are you guys have any questions? I'm seeing one there.
Hi, my name is Pascal, and I just wanted to know how you all handled this while you was working full-time, because I know KUKO was working till last year, I think. I've seen a post of you.
But like 2 months ago.
Yeah, or just a few months ago. How did you handle all of that while you're full-time working?
Yeah, good question. It wasn't full-time, it was 3 days a week, which is still enough. So there was like basically no day off. You just have to accept it. If you do what you want, it's super fine. So it's like I worked from Tuesday till Thursday. Then I started traveling on Friday, came back home like maybe on Sunday, maybe on Monday, and then like started the whole week. I did a lot of stuff during work, to be honest, like social media stuff, like looking for videos and something that you can just do like office work, the office part of the work, like record box, like storing, like searching for new music and stuff, and then like on the road, just full focus on like the shows. Like this is actually sometimes that's even the time that's the most chill. Like after a gig, like the half an hour in bed, like looking at TikTok. That's like this is like the moment where you can just tell yourself, okay, now it's fine to watch TikTok. But yeah, it was a pretty rough time, and to be honest, like from my point of view now, like watching back, I don't know how I handled that for such a long time, but it worked out. I think it's like if you really really want it, and really, if it's your passion, that's fine. Also, the plus point was like the place I was working at was also like an agency for DJs, like a different genre, but they had a certain understanding for what I do. So yeah, that was also like a great help. But yeah,
I think we could say it's finding about your own balance and finding your own rhythms.
Yeah, basically, yeah, finding like the 5 to 10 minutes where you can just like stop work and like do other stuff.
Take your own breath. Yeah. Any other questions? Are we good so far? Then, oh yeah, we have another one.
Thank you. In regards to the social media, so when I was touring, I just found that it is increasingly important for the promoters or the agents to know like what is your engagement and basically how much people you can actually pull and basically how much tickets you can actually sell. So I'm just wondering, how relevant is it if you are not performing in your local area? If you are performing, let's say, abroad, how does it work, the correlation between the social media and the fact that an artist is getting booked for the major events?
Do you guys want to answer?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, actually. It's a good question. I think, in my case at least, it's sometimes handy to maybe do like a poll on your stories, and you can, or like a Q&A, for example, and then you can ask, oh, what cities would you like to see me in, or for example, like this. And this way, my manager and I were able to really see, for example, that I have a strong foothold in South and North America, which North America was actually unexpected. And South America was already a bit more of a natural thing that we knew, because you could just see like the DMs that I'm receiving are a lot from people in South America. So I would say that maybe doing like Q&As or polls are very good ways to connect with your audience, and being able to kind of see like, okay, where would people really like to see me perform at? And that way your agent or manager can also reach out to promoters in those cities and countries. So that's kind of the way that we do it. But yeah.
Okay, any questions left? Then I'm gonna thank you all for being here today and answering so honestly to the questions, and let this be a reminder to all of us that success doesn't come from your well-being, like it's coming from your well-being basically. And yeah, thank you so much again, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.